doest thou well to be angry. Those were the words of God to this reluctant prophet of God. And as I said yesterday, or last week, the frustrated prophet of God. And I have to just be honest with you, this story is a little bewildering. And basically, God had sent this prophet Jonah to go to the city of Nineveh and preach that God had his hand upon it and it was to be destroyed because of the wickedness of that city. But it says that the king of Nineveh heard the message, heard Jonah preach and proclaim this message, and when he heard it, he responded to it, and he proclaimed a fast. And he said to the people of Nineveh, sackcloth and ashes, cry out to God, and see if perhaps God in heaven will hear and will turn from his wrath. And that is exactly what happened. And so you would think that Jonah would rejoice that the preaching of the word had come forth and people had responded, and now all these people will be spared. And you'd think that would be a message that would just resonate through his heart, and he would just rejoice and be happy and glad that his preaching had been effective. But we know that's not what happened at all. But the scripture tells us that Jonah became very angry at God. And this is where we find this verse of scripture that just simply says, doest thou well to be angry? And it's a question that God is saying to Jonah. Do you have a right to be angry? And I've known of people, and I have to be honest, there may be a time or two in my own life where I felt like I was justified to be angry and upset. But the truth of the matter is that if you are a born-again child of God and you have received the forgiveness of God for your sin, then we understand that that's just mercy. That's just absolute mercy. There's no other reason for it. There is absolutely no other reason that you would be spared the destruction in your own life because of your sin, other than the fact that God has had mercy on us. And that's the mercy that has been extended to the residents of the city of Nineveh. And instead of Jonah being happy about it and just rejoicing over it, he's angry and he's mad. It makes me wonder sometimes. I think about the parable that Jesus gave us about those who went to the marketplace, and those who early in the morning agreed to work all day long for a penny, and then down to the 12th or the 11th hour, the ones who were sent even at that time all received a penny. Well, what does that story tell us? It just simply tells us about, regardless of the sin, there's mercy. And I thank God for his mercy. This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.